I'm gonna cover up my beard.
No, let's see, 5, 4, 3,
Hey,
1.
hey, welcome everybody.
Hello, hello.
How are you guys doing?
Bored at home, dying with work.
We're at home. All right, let's just double check to make sure the stream is working. Thank you, everyone that is tuned in right now. My name is Rezhan. This is the episode 2 of SSL Rewatchables. Look at our nice setup here, guys. Isaac,
Yeah,
you're
man.
right below me. If you can see Cody down below, let's pretend we're in the Brady Bunch. We can wave
I'll
to
be
each
at
other.
that. Yeah.
So we've got
Yes.
myself, Rezhan. We've got Isaac. You guys all know Isaac. And today, at least for the beginning of this game, we have joining us Mr. Cody Sue of Man at Arms. Say hello to
Hello,
everybody.
hello.
Hello. How are you dealing with the MCO? You said you're bored, but you're
Yeah,
still working.
man. I'm still working now, actually. Yeah, but like cooked up at home the whole day for the past 2 weeks. Not fun, bro.
Yeah, tell me about it. But we got to be grateful. We still have work.
Yeah, that's true.
Not so many people are so lucky. So yeah. How about you, Isaac? How you holding up? I know you and I talk every
Yeah,
day.
I think we can all feel what Cody's feeling. Yeah, but I think how to say it's much more comfortable being at home
Hmm.
while working. You get like I mean, if you're hungry, just go to the fridge anytime. Just walking distance. You don't have to go all the way down to a mall to a restaurant.
Yeah,
Order
no,
food. I
no
mean,
long
it's
commutes or anything like that.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. No construction sounds, no here and there. It's pretty
No,
peaceful. I enjoy the peace actually. I enjoy the peace.
fair enough. Speaking of quiet, we also have in the background. You guys can't see today. Helping us out in the background is Mr. Andre Reza, as always. Dre, if you can we get the video to start back at the beginning as we set this up? So
Okay.
yeah, so day 20. Actually, today, guys, MCO is day 20 today.
oh god,
Yeah,
oh my
day
god,
20.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I know, and I know you're not playing this season, Cody, but it is 1 month since our last SSL game as well.
Oh,
Yeah. So, some tough times, but hopefully, what we're doing today, it will help people, kind of take their minds off of it for a little while and just relax. And what we're going to be talking about is going back in the time machine and talking about season 8, the
mm-mm,
Hero Cup Finals, XUM versus your Man at Arms, Cody.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
So let me just give some context for this game for everyone that's watching it. Not everyone follows SSL as closely, or maybe they didn't play in the season. So here's kind of the lowdown of what happened for this game and how we got there. So this season 8 was the first time we had the Hero Cup. This was also one of the first seasons we merged gold and black divisions. So really, we had 2 gold division teams, and everyone else was kind of somewhere in the middle there. So it was a big jump from the top 2 down to everyone else. The top 2 being Red Baron and the Kriegers.
Yeah,
Then
man.
then you had the Knights, the Titans, who I think that was their first season, and then you guys in XUM. So
Mm-hmm.
we had a breakdown, at the end of the season of the rankings. So Man at Arms finished sixth
Sixth.
overall. Yep,
All
yep.
right,
And
not too bad.
XUM were number 5. You guys had the same record. And again, this is one of the first times we played at Maba Stadium as well.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah,
Loves
yeah.
playing there.
Yeah, first time for a lot of guys. I think it was a nice new feeling. It was also
Mm-hmm.
one of the first times we were doing live streams for SSL, and I think one of the first few times we live streams in general for basketball in Malaysia and maybe in the world too. So
Ooh.
so if you guys are watching this along with us, or you guys want to follow along and look back, it's first time we used our partners Blue Black Arena as well to do the live stream. So there was there was a little bit of a feeling out process, some technical difficulties to start. But
Mm-hmm.
the first question, even before we get into the game, that I want to ask you guys is, what do you guys think about live streams when they first came out? I think they're kind of almost expected now, in the leagues that we play in. Do you guys remember when live streams first came out for SSL or even some of the other leagues that you guys play in? Maybe Isaac, you first.
Um, so I just think that there are a little bit of bad and more good side to having live stream. So of course, having live stream will be convenient for everybody, right? But I think we talked about this before. Having a good live stream, it means like you can watch it from anywhere. So people would take the more convenient route of watching a live stream instead to coming to the live game. So
Mm-hmm.
we've been having like lesser crowds but more engagements in the live stream, which is not bad. I would say good, but like in terms of atmosphere and liveliness, we don't have that much crowd because every time everybody just hops onto our live stream really.
Yeah, you're right. And that's continued on as live streams have become more common,
Mm-hmm.
especially for us as SSL. Yeah, it is a trade-off. But what's cool is we can watch games from 2 years ago and talk about it like this.
Yep,
Yeah, exactly, because
that's
it's always
what. Yeah,
there.
that's for
And you
sure.
can just browse it whenever you want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So again, let me quickly talk about the teams, and then we have the game going already here. But going into the season or going into the playoffs, XUM was averaging 81 points per game. Irfan was averaging 23 points per game. Actually, before that, it was Dexter Bullen, their center, who wasn't in this game, that
Mm-hmm.
was leading the team in points. Ming Lip also was not in this game. So the team itself was made up of pretty big guys, and they were experienced. But this game was really about Irfan. He had 59 points, 9
Yeah.
for 11 3-pointers, 12 for 14 from the free throw line, and 11 rebounds. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But Cody, real quick for you guys, for Man at Arms, you guys averaged a crazy 32 3-point attempts per game every
Oh,
single game.
nice.
It was
Nice.
crazy. 212 over 7 games that you guys played in the season. You guys shot 212 3-pointers,
Oh,
and you
wow.
and you made 25%, which is not bad for this
Oh,
league.
yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and we'll see here in this game too. You guys get going on it real quick. Kunwei averaged the league in assists with 6 and 14 points per game. Jending and Vicky also in double figures. And as we mentioned just now offline, Kunwei had a really good game. But also Lai Kong Lek in this game was big, 24 points.
Mm-hmm.
Also, real quick, you guys in your first game against PhD, 129 points.
Yeah, that's the first time we
Crazy.
played together as the whole team. And then everything just felt very good on that day. And then we just executed. Everything was on point. So, yeah, it just ran really smoothly for that one.
Yeah, you guys, it's crazy because you kind of had similar type players, all athletic, all shooters, all that
All
could,
students.
all students. That helps too. A lot of youth, but you guys
Yeah.
could all kind of penetrate and create for each other. It was a really fun team to watch. What do you remember from that season?
How I remembered how the team was formed was half of us were from Sunway and Monash.
Okay.
So we used to play together on like social Wednesdays just to get together, play a bit of 4-on-4. And then like I saw SSL because I joined me and Ong Jen Hao joined SSL before
Okay.
under IICS. So
That's right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, yeah.
Season
so
5, maybe season 4.
I don't know, it was pretty early. It was
Yeah.
at the one in Sungai Bulu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. So then the next one came out, and then Kunwei was like, "Hey, so you thinking of joining SSL?" I'm like, "If we have sponsors, why not?" And then soon enough, my friend was like, "Hey, you want to join? Is it? Come, I sponsor you." I'm like, "All right, sure." And we
That
just
is
gathered the
awesome.
team. Yeah. So we formed it with just whoever we could pick up from, whoever is familiar with their positions and everything, and then just
Yeah.
went on ahead.
That's a good friend. That's a good sponsoring
Yeah.
friend.
And he stole Jennings at the same time. Yep.
Oh, Jenny was just like I don't know. I forgot how Jenny came to about. I think Kunue was like, "Hey, you free?" He's like, "I haven't bought in a few months, bro." I was like, "It's okay, lah. Just come and play for fun." He's like, "Yeah, sure." I'm like, "Okay, that's easy." Because Jenny hasn't bought for a year before that. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was
pretty
that
long.
was that the start of his bodybuilding?
Yeah, exactly. His bodybuilding. Well, his body's crazy now. My God.
All right, well let's get into the game. So we're about a few minutes into the first quarter here. Let me see if I can make it a bit bigger for me. Yeah, 8-2. So what we missed early on is Irfan hits a quick basket, and we're going to see a lot of this, a lot of driving and slashing into the lane by Irfan, a lot of and
Yeah,
ones.
a
I
lot of
think a
three
lot of that had
points.
to do with you guys not having a big guy in the middle too. But what we missed real quick was Hensler. I think has already taken 2 3 pointers, and it's about
Mm-hmm.
2 minutes into the game. So
Yeah.
was that what you guys was that the plan the whole season? Just jack up threes.
So basically, everyone in the team can actually shoot 3 points. Like if you leave them open wide enough, or if they're in their comfortable position, they can actually knock down the three. So if you're free, you feel like it, just give it a go. That's what I always tell them. If you're free, you feel like you can knock it down, just give it a go. But after 3 or 4 shots, you can't make it. Try driving, try something else. So that is probably why we shot so many 3 points in the game, and some of them actually made it in. So yeah,
Yeah, and I think it also helped that you guys were quite unselfish with each other too. Like that's generally a good game plan, but it doesn't work when guys are just hanging on to the ball and trying to look for their own shot.
that's true.
Isaac, what do you remember early on in this game? What do you see?
I remember men at arms being really, really strong, and they are all strong like individually, and when combined, they actually like impress me even more. Especially on the court, there's a leader like Kunwei, there's a strong guy like Kong Lek, their go-to center like Yo Zenwen. I mean, all these guys, they are very good individually, and with them being on the same university, Sunway or Monash, and when they play pickup together, that bonds them even more
Yeah.
on their chemistry, right? So I, even like what Cody said, with them playing together in their first season, right? They did why they did really well. I think it's because of all the pickups and the bonding before they even come to this SSL season 8, right? And I think that's how they managed to get this far.
Yeah,
Just
I
being
mean,
under the influence of Kunwei, and then the athleticism of Hensler, you know, and that's how they get this far, man.
yeah, and that helps for any team with that chemistry and you guys being friends and everything. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that chemistry and playing together is one thing, but you guys are all quite good offensively as well. You get because you get a lot of runs where you have friends and you put a team together, but some guys are just defensive guys. I think pretty much 1 through 12 or maybe 1 through 10 at least all can score the basketball too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Everyone has that mindset because when you play pickup games and you know that, like if I play with you and Isaac a lot on CHS, I can know like what you can or cannot do. So when you're pushed to a corner, we can pass it out like, okay, Hansel can knock this down, Kunwei can drive, Kunwei can dime, Zenwen can get this rebound and all that. So we all know everyone's pros and cons. So that's how it worked really well too.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's watch a little bit here. Let's see where we're at 10-6. So you guys start the first quarter. Right now it's a little bit slow, but you guys start really building up a huge lead in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring up a question as we watch this for you guys. So we talked a little bit about chemistry being important, being friends and knowing how each other play being important. But a lot of times for SSL, that's not really. You're not going to get all guys that you're familiar with, or sometimes you join a free agent team, you're not familiar with anyone,
Yeah, true.
and guys, have other commitments. So either ball isn't life all the time. So, uh,
Exactly.
for you guys, it worked well. For XUM, they're completely different because they come from a system. Some of their their alumni or their current UM players, so they know a system. So there's two contrasting styles here. You guys have a run and gun, like almost
Mm-hmm.
like a Golden State Warriors, old school Phoenix Sun style, where
Mm-hmm.
you're shooting with 5 seconds off the shot clock. Whereas XUM is a lot more deliberate and they have set plays and
Yeah,
they're half
exactly.
court. So I want to ask you guys for SSL, do you think in general showing up and trying to run and gun is better, or trying to slow it down and figure out in the half court is better? Well, Isaac, what do you think?
I've always been preferring run and gun
Run
as
and gun.
well because that's I mean because that's how I play, right? So I wouldn't know like I'm not that expert in like slow play, take things slow, trying to set up some set and stuff like that. But I guess both has its pros and cons, right? I mean, like run and get, you need the right people with the right speed and the right offensive mindset, and stuff like that. And uh, for the slower pace, you need like really high IQ players to know what they're gonna do, where they're gonna go, how they're gonna run their offensive sets, and stuff like that. And of course also size if you want to play it slow, to be honest, because me personally, when my team tries to take it play it slowly, I feel like it's a disadvantage for me
Oh,
because
sorry to interrupt. That was just a beautiful assist from Kunwei to Vicky. But
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
saw
yep,
that.
yep, yep. Like okay, like if you see XUM right now on this play, they're taking it slow, but they know how to run their
Mhm.
offense and make man at arm moves. Yeah, and
But
it's also
with
because
that
they got
said,
size, they got high IQ and stuff like that, and they're playing the post play and stuff like that, so they know
yeah,
what to do. And yeah, they don't have many guys that can run, so they
yeah,
they
exactly.
they opt for the slower pace. But
Yeah, the
yeah, I think
personnel. Yeah,
yeah, at the end, I mean,
personnel
I
is huge.
think both has its pros and cons.
Yeah, personnel is huge. But just good talking about this game. Like right now, what's happening is man at arms. You guys are playing really good defense, and then turning it into the fast break. That's basically your offense, right? The
Hmm.
defense is collapsing. You guys are
Yeah,
showing doubles, and
And
then
then
you're going.
someone just runs and then just
Yeah,
outlet. Yeah.
yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Personnel matters, but I think for teams that don't have the chance to practice and stuff, that's almost the only option you have. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Yeah. So that's the funny thing with like bandwagon. We don't practice and we don't have athleticism or speed, so we don't really
Horns,
have a game.
horns, horns.
Yeah, yeah. That's basically it.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, because
yeah.
we before even the competition started, we never even proper training. We probably had like a scrimmage once, just to get to know everyone, and then after that, we just played on the weekly basis for StatSports, and then just tried to build chemistry and teamwork from there. The only
Mhm,
set play we knew at that time was horns. So
mhm.
that is probably the only set play that everyone knows well and that can execute well. Other
And
than that, yeah,
right at that time, like I'm not sure how was Kunwei already playing in the D League. I know a few of your guys played in the D League and some state teams, right?
yeah.
Did they bring anything from their teams as far as like sets or anything to the team?
Because like people like Kunwei, Hansler, Zenwen, Gonglek, they all play in like a better high rank games, right?
Hmm.
But people like me, Vicky, Jenning, Jia Wei, we probably wouldn't understand the set play as much as them. So if they ran it and like there was one person in the court that could not understand it, then the whole formation
Right.
will crack. So it was just easy to either do it man, like full court press, half court
Yeah.
press,
Well, you
horns.
guys just ran a line baseline. I mean, I know line inbound
Yeah,
is pretty
yeah,
simple,
the
but
line bounce. Yeah, that one everyone knows too because you when you go to Monash or Sunway, they use the same set play everywhere. So yeah, everyone knows that pretty well too.
okay. Let's talk about the game right now. Again, first quarter
Mhm.
here, you guys build up a big lead. This is before Irfan gets unleashed. What do you remember about the beginning of the game?
I remember before the game, I told them that it's okay if it's XUM. Just try to knock down your shots. Just try to believe in yourself. Trust your teammates. Kunwei lead everything on the floor. Lai, give me some energy. And then he's like, all right, let's go. And so they stormed off with the first quarter, and then everything was executing well. I remember I was from the side. I was like, good goal, guys, good goal. Let's go, let's go. I'm like, what? I was just screaming out of happiness because of the first quarter. Yeah, so
Yeah.
because everything went so well.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's basically what I remember for the first quarter only.
Yeah, and then things started going downhill pretty quickly. And also, right before this, I mean, you got to be happy in the first quarter. Another great assist, by the way,
Hmm.
because the game right before this, you guys lost to the Titans,
Yeah,
and that was a big 20-point
heat.
lead you guys gave up.
Yeah, that was a heated fourth quarter that happened there. Yeah, not really too proud about that one too.
But yeah, I just remember you guys were really fun to watch. I don't think I played you guys.
No, we didn't play against bandwagon at all. It would be fun too if we went against each other, Han. I'll probably guard you. You'll probably eat me in the post.
Yeah, and then I would try to chase you around, but no,
Yeah.
I would just give up halfway, just wait on offense. Okay, let's see. So now we have again. This is beginning of the live stream. Look how pretty that those graphics are. Shout out
I
to
know, right?
to
Yeah.
Blue Black for doing that, and Chili's was sponsoring us that season. I think Dre gives Chili's a shout out about 3 times during this whole thing. Oh, look at us! Look at us! Look how young we look, Dre. Just 2 years ago.
I've got hair.
Oh god.
Let's see. Let's jump forward. I think we can go to the next stream, Dre. Maybe about. Oh, actually, it's the same. Yeah, sorry, it's the same stream. We can jump up to 13:57. Are we there yet? 13 minutes and 57 seconds into the stream.
We're already past 13.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry. This is it. The end of the first quarter already? Is that where we're at?
Looks like it should be. Yeah.
Should be.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
should
So
be.
end of the first quarter, it's 20-8. You guys have a 12-point lead. The question I wanted to bring up here, and you brought him up earlier, we get to talk about it, is Kun Wei. So again, he led the league in assists. He had 14 points per game, and you can really see him, like, his impact on this game, leading you guys. I don't know, Isaac. Do you remember if he played any more seasons besides this?
No, Kumi has only played
No.
this. Yeah, this is probably his first
First and last.
SSL.
Yeah.
Not last. Probably we're coming back next season if I can get everyone together. We'll see what happens there.
Breaking news. Isaac's
Yeah.
take.
Isaac 6.
We're gonna hold.
What was that, Dre?
I said you should hold him to that. We got it recorded, right? So he has to come. He has to join us next season.
That's right. So the question on the board now is Chong Kun Wei underrated? When we talk about SSL players or we talk about SSL point guards, we don't really bring him up that much, and it might be because he didn't play that much, so we don't think about it. But just watching this game, looking at the stats, like, he's pretty dominant for his size and his ability.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think, Cody?
So
Underrated?
Yeah, I think Chong Kun Wei is actually pretty underrated. Not only in SSL but in other competitions too. But with a person with his basketball mentality and IQ level, his quickness, his 3 points, his ball handling, I think he's pretty underrated because he can do so much more for a team. Like, Maradons really needed him. When push came to shoves, he really stepped up his game. I really like someone like him on my team. He's humble, he's nice. He just has a temper problem as well. But that's probably all about it. So.
and obviously I don't know him. I wouldn't have guessed him being nice because he's got some fire on the court too.
Yeah.
And fundamentally, I love watching him because his head is always up, and yet he can penetrate and take advantage of all the lanes as well. So
exactly.
So Isaac, what are your thoughts? Is he underrated?
Underrated for sure, because how to say, when I'm only remembering the scene where he was in Red Baron for a moment.
That's right.
Yeah. So when he was in Red Baron for a moment, I know he didn't get much minutes. He didn't get some time to show what he got and stuff like that. Because
sorry, time out.
Baron.
You, Isaac. Irfan just hit his first 3. Yeah, just FYI, we're gonna have a 3-point counter for Irfan. I know a lot of you guys are here to watch Irfan
shots
on fire, but so just so everyone knows, and Kun Wei just replied. Was that Kun Wei? Or was that the? Either way, yeah, first 3-pointer for Irfan. Sorry, go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, and I was saying just when Kun Wei was in Red Baron, he didn't get much minutes. He didn't get to play like how he usually plays, and that's only because Red Baron has better, stronger, taller players, right? But
yeah.
I think aside from Red Baron, if you see him play, like even in pickups or even in man arms or even the recent team Sunway, he actually controls the pace and the team really well. Like like in season 8, yes, we can see his temper and stuff like that, but I don't think that's a
Sorry,
bad thing coming
Dre,
out of from him.
we've got to switch the stream. Sorry, Isaac. It's again, this was the beginning of us doing live streams, so they kind of draw. We have two different streams here, which Dre is going to update.
Oh yeah. Oh, Trump.
Yeah, what Trump has to say about Man at Arms.
Oh.
But yeah, you were saying, Isaac.
Yeah, in season 8, yeah, we can see his temper
I must say, I'm
getting a
most
little
impressed
heat up
by
and stuff like that.
by
But
number
I
17,
don't
Yeo
think
Jung-wen.
that's
He has
a really
been
bad thing.
their
You know, I mean,
main
yeah,
source
maybe
of
once in a while we
offense,
can
and his
see
hustle has kinda
it's not
energized the Man at
necessary.
Arms team.
But
Not-
I like the
Hensler's hit a couple
fire
shots,
when he
Chinning
gets
a couple,
heated.
but
You know,
not
it
much
actually
else output
it actually
besides,
should bring the team up.
Yeo Jung-wen.
You know,
Like I
instead
said,
of like,
usually
hey, you
when
know,
a
calm down and
role
stuff like
player
that.
like
Because
that, I'm not
sometimes
saying that
we
he's
need
not a
that
good
kind of
player, but
fire
not the
to
focal point of the offense
keep up
for
the momentum,
Man at Arms.
keep
When
up
he
the
scores
pace, and stuff like
buckets,
that.
it's gravy.
But other than that,
you see a little energy
remembering
coming
the
from
recent
Jen
season
Yang,
that when he was with Team Sunway, he did not show those kind of temper that he showed in
Speaking of
SSL
gravy,
season 8
don't
at
you
all.
It's trying to
think that
control
So
it.
yeah.
on
So
the
if you ask me,
country
that's
fried
like a huge
chicken
improvement
is awesome
from
Chili's.
then
I
and
am
now.
really hungry
You know,
right now.
he's getting more calm. He's getting more mature.
I
We
have to
can
make
actually
sure that
see like his
I can't
leadership
guarantee that everyone listens
being
to all our broadcasts. So we must
how to say being shined when he was with Team
interject
Sunway.
Chili's.
You know,
In every
he's
broadcast we
more
have, as Irfan
controlling
capitalizes
in a
on
good
those
way.
two free throws. XUM
He
18,
sets the
Man at
pace very
Arms,
well
30.
and stuff like that. And he's only gonna get
Man at
better
Arms,
from then on, right? If he continues to keep on
firmly
playing.
in the driver's
I know
seat.
he's still
That's
super
Kun Wei.
young. You know, he still has a long way to go. And when he's gonna come back, like Cody said, the next season, it's gonna be really tough to go up against this team.
Yeah. Right now in the game, I think the stream has the game that's on. I think our Discord still shows Trump, but I think everyone can see
where
the game.
is the
Irfan
foul,
is
he
starting
says.
the comeback
He's got a
now.
case to be made there, but I just
So
like
do
the
you,
energy
what,
from
what
him
do you
right
guys
now.
remember as we
You
start
know,
seeing
attacking the
Irfan? What
basket
Cody?
and
Maybe you
playing
remember
both
from the
sides of the
sideline
ball.
when this run starts.
Strong
Second
move,
quarter, he draws a
referee calls
foul. He's already
foul.
hit a three.
Defenders,
Remember anything?
Oh Young Sam.
I
looks
remember
on
that
incredulously.
before
And, you know, so
starting the
going back
game,
to
XUM
Irfan,
had
you know,
a
we mentioned
scorer,
he's got
which was
back from,
Irfan. So during the first quarter, he
couple
wasn't really shining that much.
Right.
But after he got
Yep.
comfortable, started moving the ball, then he started knocking down his second 3-point. We were like, oh, okay, I need to put a man on him. So it was between two people because Hensler was my top scorer and Lai Konglek was my other one. But Lai Konglek was a bit taller and a bit has more stamina. So I either put him or Jin Chen, number 10, on Irfan to try to stop his momentum going. It lasted for a while until they probably got burned out because of the offense and defense.
Yeah,
running back and
because
forth.
Lai ended up leading your team in scoring that game as well. So he gets kind of both.
Exactly. So yeah, he got tired after that. Like
Number 18.
towards the end of it. In the beginning was fine
And
though.
Finishes. Number 18,
wow.
Sim Jia Wei.
Number 10 was actually in the KL Dragons Academy as well, together with Hensler.
Yeah, you guys had some really good young talent.
Yeah, that's true also at that time. Man at Arms was a really impromptu team actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then we just actually like, you guys can go? Let's go. You can go? Alright, let's
In
go.
attack mode, Irfan taking on all comers.
To be young, so easy.
Draws the
and
foul.
you had a sponsor, so I guess that helps
Beats him
people.
on the,
They're like,
Oh
okay.
yeah, that
Man at Arms
helps people.
defense there,
Actually.
like
But I only
you
took people
said
that were
earlier,
close.
trying to
So, yeah.
put his mark on the game as a timeout
So
call
again, here,
by
15-point
XUM.
game.
Coach Core will draw a play
still-
here.
Let's see. Dre, what timestamp are we at right now?
You want to read that?
Haha.
We are at
Handsome commentator. I'm not sure who that is, but thank you very much. I can't pronounce your name.
Okay.
But when commentator tells us
That's-
that both the
I
commentators
don't know what
look
to say about
handsome.
that.
Commenters.
Okay. And sorry guys,
XUM
just a little bit of technical logistics
in
here.
foul
Trying to figure out. Are
trouble
you
as
seeing
they
on
trailed
Discord? Is that different from the
20
Facebook
to
stream?
35.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my God,
different.
Follow it live. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm following on Facebook too.
Yeah. Makes it a bit difficult because there's a bit of a lag. But
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah.
Trump doesn't want to leave.
Trump wants to
if
stay,
Dre-
bro.
If
I didn't know
Dre
why
can
you set
help us
yourself
with
up.
that. Anyway, so yeah, so Irfan starts
Timeout
heating up.
over. Irfan will go
Again,
to
I
the
want to read you
line
guys
for
his
2
stat
shots.
line real quick.
Oh god.
59 points, 9 for 11 from the 3-point line. Now,
XUM,
to be clear,
if they
I've
want
got a
chance in this
running
game,
tally
have
of
to
the
at least
threes
cut
as
down
he
this
goes along
lead to
here,
about
and
10
I could only
points,
find 8.
I think.
So there's a phantom 3-pointer somewhere in
Although the
here.
way Irfan
So
is
we,
playing,
we go by the stat sheet, we go by the scoreboard, and
might
there
try to
And it
is
will
get
count.
there is like a
As he
missing
hits
minute of footage,
another
so it
free
might be
throw.
somewhere in there. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but 9 for 11 and 12 for 14 from the free throw line. But what's surprising is also 11 rebounds.
Mm.
So he's all over the court for this.
He was a monster that night.
All of which during halftime will have contests.
Dre getting beat.
I guess it was something like what Coach Kroll
Please,
would
come on
usually
down. You
say
got
to
7 minutes.
Irfan because throughout the seasons that
Nice
XUM had
drive,
joined,
and
I
the
sometimes
finish
like
for
just
number 40,
eavesdrops on
Wee
Coach Kroll a bit just to see what his style of
Will
coaching
that
is.
be a
I love
basket
it.
that
Yeah,
he
yeah,
needs?
and
Need his
he
offensive
will
output
usually
as he's playing some
usually
hard-nosed
say to
defense,
Irfan,
running
Irfan,
into screen
just
after
go for
screen,
it.
still staying
Just
with
go for
Kunwei,
it
but
and stuff like that. And, I mean,
in
of course,
slips
him having the knees
number
in the
3,
team
Lu Junning.
compared to the other XCM players,
Mm-hmm.
they will tend to be like four defend one, that kind of concept. Yeah. So they would just like throw everything to Irfan, and they'll say to Irfan, just go do your thing, man. I mean, so they know how capable this Irfan guy is.
Yeah.
And they'll just do like
Ball from
whatever
the side.
off-ball movement to get him a free lane,
Here,
right?
Coach Core
Well,
giving
well,
instructions, running a play.
Well, that brings up my next
I spent a
question,
cross
and
screen
that's
coming across right here.
what we're going
That
to
was
put
a
up on the
pretty
banner
terrible
here.
cross screen.
Do you think, guys like Irfan, guys that
They
know
ran the
they're
play that I expected them
significantly
to run.
better,
They did not
if I
run
can
it
say
well
so.
at all.
I mean, they're not short of coaching.
Dre, the volume's a little bit high. But do you think
Step back three.
guys
Nope.
like that
Put
when
away.
they
Put away.
show up, they
Dang,
kind of
he's
play
gonna go right,
differently
guys.
when they
Just letting
see
you know.
man in arms? And again, no
Oh,
disrespect
good
to you guys,
Trying to
Cody,
show
but
some
you guys were
range.
smaller. Irfan had,
Mhm.
Irfan was bigger than a lot of the guys, and he still had the
Yeah.
speed, and you guys
Exactly.
didn't have a post defender. Do you think, his approach, and if Coach Core was here or if Irfan's here, I'd ask him the same thing. But what do you guys think? Do you think he approached the game differently? Because especially in this juncture in the game, you start to
Good
see him
position. A nice move
take
to the middle.
take over.
Just unable to finish.
Yeah.
Good defense
I
there
feel
by
like
Hall to
Irfan,
intercept
like
that.
as talented as he
Irfan
is,
recovers
I mean,
and
because
waves
we're
everyone off,
basically
get
the
down
underdog,
there.
so no one really knows who
Nice
we are,
find.
kind of thing. So he probably just
Gotta finish,
he
and
just
he
tried a few
does.
shots, and then this felt
Good
good.
basket
Okay,
there for number
this guy
9,
can't really guard me,
Irfan.
so all right, I'll just shoot freely and do what I always do and get scores. So, and we didn't really manage to lock him down as much as we would like to. We only limited his 3 points by a bit, but he still kept scoring anyway, so that's a big
Dude,
downer.
he scored 9 threes. He didn't limit anything.
Probably limit two. Limit two?
Yeah, 9 for
Maybe
11.
two.
You're right.
Maybe two, yeah. That's probably it. That's probably it.
And also
I don't
on
think there
the
really
cherry on
is
top, I think it's the Hero
anyone
Cup,
on the,
right? It's something to
XUM
fight for,
team that can
and
stay
yeah, I
True.
think that's why
consistently with Chong Kun-wei.
something to fight for, and they're not giving this game so easily. That's why.
Yep. And as we mentioned earlier, their leading scorer Dexter wasn't there, and Ming Lip wasn't there. So to your point with Coach Core, he probably was like, "Hey, not only go do your thing, Irfan, like you're our only chance right now."
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And he did execute everything, especially what Coach Core wanted him to do anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
So
he was aggressive. He and he mixed it up. He didn't just settle for threes. The threes.
yeah, he mixed it up. Yeah.
Yeah, there were good looks. He created those threes. But he attacked the basket. He was in the fast break. He went in the post a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy that was a bright spot for XUM this game was Kai Xiang.
Oh, the point guard.
Yeah, he pushed. What do you remember about him, Cody?
I remember him being a bit of a problem for Kunwei because he's probably smaller than Kunwei, but he's just as fast. So he was probably the only person on XUM that could keep up with Kunwei's speed and Kunwei's dribbles. So I remember Kunwei having a bit of a hard time because Kaxiang was also a bit aggressive towards him. And when people get aggressive towards Kunwei, Kunwei starts to, I'm gonna go back at you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
And
remember.
and it's funny you bring that up because later on we'll see Coach Core kind of. There's another 3 for Irfan.
Irfan. Oh god.
I think that's number 2. But yeah, Coach Core starts face guarding Kunwei off
Oh
ball
yeah.
in the second quarter, and I think that's a little bit of that too, trying to get in his head, as Dre mentions in the commentary.
Coach Core brought a very good point after the game. He said to Kunwei that Kunwei was the only one that could control the pace, control how we move, and tell us what to do and everything on court. So basically, that's why they could not leave him alone, whether he was behind the court, not dribbling the ball, or even off the ball. They had to guard him regardless. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like that, that's a tough shot. That was after, I think that was right after the 3 from Irfan too.
Yeah,
So
that was after
yeah,
the
you
three.
can tell. Yeah, you can tell from how he plays. He's kind of plays with a chip on his shoulder, and
Yeah, his hustle is
wants to
crazy.
prove them.
I actually want to give more credits to Wee Kai Xiang as well. That man's a hustler. Man's a hustler. He's actually young. He's probably 26, 27 now.
Really?
This year? Yeah, he's actually pretty young. And that guy's a hustler, man. And if you really notice, like the games before this, man, he'll run, he'll score, he'll fall, right? But he doesn't get injured. He's like a, he's like a, he's like a smaller Jennings. You know, he's fearless.
Jenny.
He's fearless, and when he falls, right, he just like, gets back up and I can go again. That guy's a hustler.
Yeah, this is Jennings at the free throw line. Jennings was he was a beast the couple seasons before. And he continued to become beastly physically. Not a great outside shot, but he's got that Euro step, and then like you said, he's just so strong too.
Once you let him go and drive on the right hand side, you are basically dead. There's no possible way to stop him if he drives right and you let him. It's really, really hard to guard his right hand layup.
Yeah,
And he'll probably just hang there and then do a 360 or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, Dre brings that up in the commentary too. Like,
Yeah.
let him go right. Just make him go left. It's a really good, what he has on his right hand, but that's basically.
Yeah, that's true. But he's developing a 3-point range after Man at Arms we played a few times, and then he was developing, working on his 3-point shots too. So that should be something to see or look forward to in the future.
Oh, so he's gonna be on this revamped Man at Arms team.
Hopefully. Also that Lai Konglet will definitely be inside, because he was originally in Miri, so that's why he missed mostly the whole season. He was only in the first and probably the second, last 2 games. That's about it. But he was in Miri before Sarawak, so he's now in KL.
Okay. So here's another 3 from Irfan. Oh, he gets it. Oh my god. So that is, I think that's number 2.
No, that's 4.
No,
Is it
that's
not 4
number
or
three.
three?
Number 3.
Number 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
So why have you guys not double teamed him at this point already?
That's a very good question. Basically, we actually didn't realize how much he scored until the third or fourth quarter. We were just playing our game, and then when he was knocking down threes, we're like, okay, this is a shooter. We can't let him shoot threes. That's all we thought. We didn't think that he was scoring double digits and anything like that. So we just played as it is. Didn't lose our cool. But then
that's your job on the bench to help.
Yeah,
I think you were
was
getting
my fault,
into it, weren't you? I mean, that happens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I was just really into the whole game, and I should have watched out for Irfan and double teamed him or called the timeout at certain times. But yeah, it was my first time coaching, being captain of this big ass team, and
Yeah.
everyone's really strong inside, so you don't know exactly where you stand, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a little practice, especially
Yeah.
like, and we talked about this last episode, Isaac. It's tough to kind of play and manage and coach and strategize all together. So even if you don't end up going in the game, if you're wearing the uniform, you're maybe thinking, oh, maybe I can play. Your mentality is a little bit different. So
That is
coaching is
true.
definitely an underrated skill here. So
That's why
that's
I
it.
went.
And
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead, Cody.
No, that's why at this game, XUM, I thought it'd be really tough, which it actually was. But I wanted to give my teammates, my players, a bit of a chance to play in Maba Stadium, probably because like half of them don't really play as much as Hansler or Kungwei or Alai. So that's why I was prepared to like sit out through the whole game already, with wearing my uniform, regardless.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fun opportunity for a lot of guys. So this is halftime.
Mhm.
Let's go. Do you guys have anything you want to bring up here before we keep going? And Cody, are you okay to stick around? We were gonna have Coach Core on, but I don't know if we have him.
He's
Is he
on
join us?
standby.
Oh, so he's there.
He's ready to come on in
All right, I'll go off
anytime.
then.
All right, Cody. Thanks for joining us. You are the man.
All
You can
right.
stick on the Facebook Live, comment, and watch the second half. Watch
Sure.
the destruction of your team.
Oh, please don't. Why? Why, hun? Thanks, guys.
All right.
Take
Thanks,
care.
Cody.
Hey,
Thanks.
see you. Bye. Okay, just
Good time to have Coach on.
yes, I am prompting him to come on.
All right. As we wait, thanks everyone for joining us on the live Facebook Live.
Ooh, Coach
We
Core.
have a new guest. I think he might be muted.
Coach Core. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hey,
Hello.
Coach, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. This is Han here with Isaac, and Dre is also in the background.
Right.
Thanks for joining us. Are you watching the Facebook Live, or are you just audio right now, or what's your situation? Hello.
He's actually watching the Facebook Live. He told me.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And I'm just checking on the Facebook Live now. Oh, you have pictures of us, Dre. Our videos are not good enough. It is.
Yeah, pretty much. You guys were lagging a little bit, so I had to switch it up. And
Okay.
now I figured it looks a lot nicer this way. So
Okay. Yeah. So let's see if we can get Coach back on here. Coach, if you're there, just let us know.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're watching Facebook Live. So you watched the first half just now?
Yeah, I did.
All right. Thanks for joining us, by the way. How are you holding up with the MCO at home?
I'm okay. Trying to stay active, working out, and as I tell some of my friends, when on holiday, I'm still working from home, so there's still a fair bit of work that we have to do remotely.
Yeah. No. So not too much of a change for you. Just can't get on the court.
And well, in terms of work, of course, there's some difference where we can't meet up and all that. And,
Right. Right.
video
All right.
conferencing is a hassle. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, the silver lining is we have excuses to do weird stuff like this now, so that's kind of fun.
Yes, that's true.
So we were just asking Cody, who's on Man at Arms, what he remembers from this game. So the first half is past. You guys basically cut down a 12-point lead to a 2-point lead. And Irfan is getting hot. What do you remember going into this game, playing these guys? This was the Hero Cup, the first Hero Cup final. Anything you remember about this game?
Yeah, it was. It's a very memorable game. It was our first season with StatSports League, and it was a lot of fun. And I remember making it to the Hero Cup final and having to go against Man at Arms. We know them quite well. And we know they're all young guys and, very talented and really speedy. And on our end, we were without our top two scorers in Dexter and Minglit, who was nursing an injury, if I recall correctly. So we didn't have our top two scorers with us, and we kind of knew we were in for a long night, and it wasn't going to be an easy game. And it turned out that way. We as we expected, was a really, really tough matchup for us.
Yeah. Matchup wise, they can all run. They're all shooters. On paper, you guys had the same record. You guys were ranked a little bit higher. But like you said, your top scorer and Ming Lip were out, so I think you probably had to adjust going into it. Did you know you're gonna be having to depend on Irfan a lot this game? I mean, did you ask him to score 59 points? Was that the game plan?
I can't remember whether I actually asked him to score 59 points, but I think I did tell him we're going to need him to score a lot of points.
Yeah.
But we didn't go into the game thinking, Irfan's going to be the man, and we are going to have to rely on him getting 60 points or something like that. Going into the game, we were still planning to play our usual game and hopefully have everybody contribute as we went along, with maybe the bulk of it coming from Irfan. But as the first quarter went on, you can see none of us had anything going. I was missing my shots. Our center, who was normally, pretty good, Chen Wei, from the free throw area, he was missing his shots.
Yeah, that mid range. Yeah, and coach, you were aggressive to start. I think you took 3 shots in the first few minutes.
And none of them were close.
You had to set the tone, right? You had to set the tone.
Yeah. So we all tried. We all tried, and none of us were on track, and hence the big deficit in the first quarter. And I also recall that game. Irfan arrived late for the game, so he didn't get a proper warm up before the game. So he kind of took the first quarter easy. Fortunately for us, when the second quarter started, he started to heat up, and then we realized, well, none of us has it, but he's got it. So let's get the ball to him, and that was basically the game plan for the rest of the game.
Right. So if he had showed up on time, maybe we're looking at 80 points.
That's what I frequently chided him about.
Okay, before the start of the second half here, Isaac, do you have any questions for Coach Kaur?
Yes, actually, Coach Kaur, you mentioned that you were during this MCO, you were finding the time to work out. That's crazy, man. I mean, the only workout that I'm doing right now is from my couch to the fridge and back. That's it.
Okay, you guys have the advantage of youth, so you can probably take time off for a month or so and then just hit the court running again. But those old guys have to maintain it all the time.
No, I have this. I know that I'm supposed to do a workout and stuff like that, but I don't know why. I just nah, I couldn't do it. It's not that I can. It's probably that I don't want to. I don't know, man. I just can't do it.
Like I say, it's the privilege of youth, So we know that if we lay off, we immediately feel it the next time we hit the court. So it's best that we maintain.
I think I know what Isaac's asking for, Coach. He wants a motivational speech from you. All right, let's get going. Let's get going into the second half. Dre, I think we can forward it a little past this halftime. We just had a little halftime contest. The start of the third quarter here, Kun Wei actually gets going, and he hits a three. I remember if you can get the video going, is Coach, you actually end up to start the second half pressuring Kun Wei off the ball, denying him the ball. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we felt that Kun Wei was the key to their team. He was he's their point guard, and we hold him in very high regard actually, and we kind of felt like that was the key. If we could, take him out of the equation, or at least make it tough for him to run the offense, that then maybe we had a chance of slowing these young guys down.
Look at this,
So
Isaac.
that
Look
was
at this. Look at Coach. He's picking him up full court right now. If you can see. Come on, Isaac. Puts you to shame, man. When's the last time you guarded someone full court?
Nobody actually told me to. I mean,
But to be fair, Kunwei hits a 3 there, Coach. But yeah, sorry to interrupt you. So you were saying, yeah, he's the catalyst for their team, right? So best way to do it,
that's right.
the ball out of his hand, essentially.
Yeah, that's right. We're trying to make it tough for him to run the offense, or at the very least make them use up some time before he actually gets the ball in his hands. So that was basically the plan.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you also, as far as strategically, when you're approaching a game like the SSL games, and like you said, this is your first SSL tournament, but you guys have been in it multiple seasons since. The competition's a little bit different. The makeup of the players is different. Do you approach the game differently when it comes to SSL versus the other tournaments, or is it the same kind of thing no matter what tournament you guys are playing in?
There are certain aspects which are going to be the same, but what we enjoy about taking part in the StatSports league is the defensive 3-second rule. With that rule, we know that going in every game, every opponent is going to play man-to-man, and you're not going to see any zones. So we can pretty much run our system, every game. We know that we can run our system every game. So whereas in other competitions, because of the zone defenses, then you're going to see a lot of other types of defense, and we don't necessarily are able to run exactly what we want to run. So our offense over the 3 seasons that we've played in StatSports has evolved. I think you can see in StatSports in season 8, our first season with StatSports, we ran a set offense. But since then, we've gone away from set offense and just played our motion offense or read and react offense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, why is that?
Season 8 was a good example. When we ran our set offense, it worked well for us in the beginning of the competition. We got easy scores again and again and again. But when we got to the playoffs, the teams, the higher level teams, the higher caliber teams, they very quickly realized what we were trying to do, and they'll make adjustments, and then we struggle. So in fact in this game against Men at Arms, we only ran our set offense in the first quarter, which obviously didn't do much for us. And by second quarter, I'd already told the guys, forget it. Let's go back to our read and react and just.
I think you found a better strategy after that, and you wore number 11. What number is he wearing? Number 12. Irfan.
Yeah. So we went to more of a free flow, and trusting our our understanding of each other, and to maintain spacing, and ultimately try to get Irfan as many touches as we can.
Yeah. Let's see where we're at here. That's I think that was Vicky with a 3. Irfan, we mentioned earlier, Coach, as well. Irfan did he had 11 rebounds this game. I think he did a good job, and although he had a turnover there, that 2 things. One, his rebounding I thought was excellent this game besides his scoring. But he did end up with 6 turnovers, which I thought were costly as well.
Irfan sometimes plays a big position for us as well. He's sometimes, because of his perimeter skills, you can forget how tall he is. He's actually fairly tall as well, and I think he has an incredible second jump. He's very quick off the ground. And that allows him to get a lot of rebounds that you don't expect him to get. So he's very quick off the ground, and he's very good at tipping the ball to himself and things like that. So the rebounds to us is not a big surprise. He gets a lot of rebounds in a lot of games. Yeah. The turnovers, if your player scores 59 points, you can give him a few turnovers. You can't really complain.
Remember that, Isaac. Turnovers are okay, but just score 59 points first.
All right,
Yeah.
I got you. I got you. That's why everybody wants to play with Coach Core. He'll give all these leeways, you know.
So let's see where we're at here. Isaac, any questions here? They're down 8 now in the third quarter. Anything you remember here, Isaac?
Nope, it's just the comeback of XUM from this point onwards, actually. I wonder why Man at Arms, they didn't seem like they were starting to lose composure at all. They just start doing very one-on-one plays and they just start missing easy shots. I don't know why. And Irfan playing 4 quarters, man, he should be tired, man. But I don't know why he's not. And
Well, look at this guy. This guy's not tired. Look at Coach freak full court denial of way on the inbounds there. I think you're right. They just end up missing shots, especially in this stretch just before XUM comes back. There's about 3 or 4 turnovers in a row. But yeah, so it wasn't you're right. I don't think it was so much that Man at Arms was playing poorly, but more XUM started hitting shots.
Yeah. Also, on for Coach Core's side, we were talking about Wee Kai Xiang being a very hustle player. You know, he's one of the key players besides Irfan that affected this game as well. Do you remember what did you say to him, or was there any specific plan for him going into this game?
Sorry, Coach, before you answer that, just a 3-point watch for Irfan. I think that's number 4 for him. He just hit another one. Go ahead.
Yeah. Kai Xiang is one of our young players. He's just at that time he had just graduated and he was one of the new recruits into XUM. He was our starting point guard for UM for the entire 4 years he was with UM. So he's a very accomplished point guard. But he's
one more 3-pointer, 3-point alert. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, Coach.
Yeah, so he was, but he's a score first point guard normally, you know. So and he can play very aggressively on offense, and so he was another potential area where he could take some burden off Irfan in terms of scoring for us. And suddenly he was the only one quick enough to stay with Kunwei, and I was just spelling minutes for him, getting him rest so that he could come back and try and slow Kunwei down and, be aggressive on offense as well.
And yeah, for defensively for you guys, was it really about the matchups that you were trying to adjust to? Or was there anything else you guys were trying to do strategically, like funnel them, out of the paint or anything like that?
No, I think the main thing was to try to limit Kunwei's touches because he's such a creative point guard and so good at setting his teammates up. We I suspected, and I think I was proven right, that his very talented teammates are also very used to him running the point and used to him setting the pace and the offense for them. So once we started limiting his touches, and you could see that the rest of his teammates, when they couldn't get the ball to Kunwei, their default is to go one-on-one. And so they started going one-on-one a lot, when away from Kunwei, and that kind of played into our strategy. Of course, stopping them one-on-one was also critical because, there's a lot of talent across the board. But it was definitely easier, trying to stop one guy going one-on-one with help defense than to try and stop someone, like Kunwei, who's very creative, who could get his own 3-point shot, who could set up his teammates and, run pick and rolls and stuff like that. So it's a question of a lesser of two evil, So we thought definitely trying to keep Kunwei out of the equation was a much better option to go with.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that was the case. We just saw 2 back-to-back threes from both sides. Did you guys have to prepare any, or I guess strategically anything differently, knowing that these guys averaged more than 33-point attempts per game? how do you defend that?
Run back on defense. that was the one thing that we stressed going into the game, because we know these guys will run and gun. They will, run the ball up and take the first open shot. And so it was critical that we try to focus on running back on defense, so that hopefully it discourages some the early run and gun trees and things like that. Yeah, and beyond that is like, hope they miss, and they missed a couple of trees, I think, early, and was uncharacteristic for their team, and that kind of helped us. So they didn't. I don't have the stats. I can't remember how many trees they threw out, but it kind of felt like they didn't shoot as many trees against us.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, they averaged 32 attempts. They shot, I think it was 25 this game against you guys. Still a pretty high clip, but 25 is closer to actually what you guys shot on the season. Yeah. Do you? So here you've cut the lead down to 6. Do you remember what you guys talked about specifically in this timeout? This was in the third quarter. You guys are on a run, cut it down from a 15-point lead down to 6.
Yeah, I remember my main worry was that the remaining 4 guys would start to stand around and look at Irfan. And so I was stressing a lot to the guys that we don't do that. We still wanted to get the ball to Irfan as much as possible, but it was critical that the other 4 guys didn't just end up standing on the court and just looking at Irfan do his thing, because that would allow man-at-arms to clog out the lane or play help defense, that kind of stuff. So yeah, during the time I was telling them that off the ball and away from Irfan, it was critical that we continue to run our motion offense, just to keep the defense honest and busy, and in the hope of that Irfan can do his thing.
And his thing being this right here, this coast to coast was, oh my god, that is crazy. I think I don't have a tally right now, but I don't know, 30 points at this point. I think he's hit his 5th 3 at this point as well. Let's take a quick pause here and check Facebook Live and see if anyone has questions. Thanks everyone for joining us on Facebook. We're here with Coach Kor Lok Yu from XUM, watching the Hero Cup game final from SSL 8. Shout out to Justin Ung, who's on. I think that's Ali Muhammad Ikram. Tech Wei says, Coach, he misses playing for you. Tech Wei, Chin Tech Wei, he says, misses playing for Coach Kor.
Yes, I definitely miss him playing for us.
and then Wayne chimes in and says he's got 3 championships. He's right. And shout out to Meng as well. Meng has a question for you, Coach. He says, how can I join XUM?
That's easy. Get enrolled in UM for a degree or a post degree course, and that will qualify you legitimately to be a XUM player.
There you go. You have to be a UM player to be an XUM player. Is that what it is? Or a UM?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
I'm surprised in the last season where Sassin suddenly showed up from XUM. I was like, whoa, I didn't know he was in UM before. Because, previously we saw him in Fat Mambas. I saw him in like different teams. I think this is my first time seeing him in XUM.
Okay, so maybe I can clarify that. All the players on XUM are players who had played for me, meaning I coached them. So teams that I coached. So the majority of them will be from UM, Unisim
right.
All those players I coach. But there are a couple of other teams that I coach as well. One of them is the DJ secondary school. Like Hensler is also my player. So I've coached him since like he was 13 or 14 or something like that.
Nice.
And Joel Lai is also from the same team. He and Hensler were teammates in DJ secondary school. So Joel plays for XUM quite a lot. Sasin and Chin Teck Wei were my players in ASEAN University Games in 2010. We went to Chiang Mai and came back with a silver medal. So they were my players on that team. Because of that, they also know the UM system and the XUM system, and they can fit in with us quite easily.
So this is
Right, I understand.
Coach Core alum team.
So something like that, yeah. But I'm very proud of all of them, and it's because when I coach a team, I don't coach teams differently. I don't believe in keeping secrets for UM and then not disclosing it to Terengganu Maba Cup or something like that when I coach them as well. We basically teach everything. So when all these players subsequently come together, they also can fit in together easily because they came from the same, they understand the same systems and they understand our same principles as well.
Yeah, and there's no point in trying to keep those secrets, right? Because it comes down to execution in the end anyway.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. That's right.
All right, so that's the end of the third quarter there. Going into the fourth, Coach, let us know if if you can stick around or if you want to jump off. That's all right too.
I'm okay. Yeah.
All right, cool. So the end of the third quarter, 66-63. So Man at Arms actually wins that quarter by 1, even though it was a hot quarter for Irfan. He ends up with his 6th 3-pointer, I believe. 5th 3-pointer, maybe 6th if we count this phantom one that we can't find. To start the fourth quarter, Irfan is on the bench. Any reason for that, Coach?
Yeah, I mean he was pretty gassed at that time, and we wanted to give him a couple of minutes rest, and hopefully then he can carry us all the way to the end for that fourth quarter. It was just to give him a few minutes rest. That's all.
Yeah, and as we'll see here as the fourth quarter starts, both me and Dre calling the game live. I think we're a little bit anxious to see how long you keep him on the bench because it didn't seem like it was going to work for him to stay too long off the court. I think he ends up with about a minute and a half rest.
Yeah. It was also, I mean, from a coaching standpoint, it's also a tricky situation. You definitely need to give him rest, but you also don't want him to get cold. I mean, he's been hot, and you want him to continue to be hot. So I thought about a minute and a half was all he was going to get.
Do you guys work on skill development? Like, is Irfan working out with UM and XUM to develop his skill, or this is all him on his own? Because his shooting ability, his ability to read the floor and his first step, it's all so impressive.
Yeah. XUM doesn't do very much skill development anymore. Everybody's graduated, working. Time's limited. So we do play together, and our understanding with each other continues to improve. But the skill development happens over the 4 years that I have them in UM. And I must say, Irfan came to us in UM a pretty polished player already. His previous coach, J3, I think, did a phenomenal job with him, and he was already an amazing player when he came to us. But yeah, there were a lot of things which we were able to develop further with him when he was in UM, and his dedication to training and improving was amazing. When he came, he was already a pretty good shooter, but there were certain hitches in his short form that I felt were holding him back. So I remember I had him doing one-handed shooting drills, shoot with one hand. Bought into it, and he really spent a lot of time shooting one-handed from under the basket all the way out to the three-point line, and he would practice three-point shots shooting one-handed until he got his current shot form, and then he was just a different player shooting from three.
Yeah, that's really interesting you bring that up because it's a lot, in my opinion anyway. So much of his scoring is that at least his 3-point scoring is that form. The release is a little bit lower, is that he can get into it quicker and he can create space to get it up.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time on that when he was in UM with us. And it made it so much easier for me as a coach with the rest of the team. When your best player is out there doing one-handed short form practices, everybody, falls in and does it as well.
Thanks for the tips, coach. I needed that one.
Yeah. Sorry, Isaac, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
I don't know if you guys caught today. Kevin Hart on Instagram, he was telling a story, a Kobe Bryant story, from when he went to the same basketball camp as Kobe Bryant in high school, and just talking about how Kobe spent the entire camp. It was a weekend camp, overnight camp, and it was high level. And Kevin Hart was trying to do his best and learn and get better, and he thought he was going to make the NBA. And obviously Kevin Hart didn't make the NBA, but Kobe Bryant was there, and he did the whole camp just with his left hand. And he told the coach he was there to just work on his left hand. So to your point, coach, that's kind of like the same thing, right? Setting the tone for everyone else. Like if your best player is that focused on getting good and getting good at one thing, then everyone else better get in line.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, where are we at on the score here? 63-69. Let me see. This was Lai Kong Lek. They Man at Arms started a little bit slow. He hits a 3-point here. I think Irfan is checked back in at this point. Yeah.
Yep.
Irfan charges, takes on 3, kicks out to Gon. Irfan goes baseline.
Hit a 3 here too. No,
He won't
didn't
get the
try
ball.
baseline.
Very
Free throws here. He's 12 for 14 on the game for free throws. Again, just a crazy shooting performance. Do you think, Coach, if you were coaching Man at Arms, do you think you double team Irfan at this stage?
Yes, definitely.
Or earlier, right?
Yeah. I think we would have dealt with Irfan the way we tried to deal with Eddie Tong in this recent season when XUM played against Merrick Farm. We definitely would have tried to, as Irfan just hits another 3 over there. Yeah.
Glad you called it
We would
out.
have run a second guy. We would have run a second guy at him. Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
And the thing is with Irfan, he's quite patient too, and he can find the open man, and but I think that would have been the better bet, right? Make everyone else score.
Yeah.
And like you said, the rest of you guys weren't really getting anything to go, so get it double team Irfan and go from there, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did
it's easy? Sorry, but it's easy for us to say that, watching the video. I mean, to be fair, Men at Arms, when they were playing, they were still leading, so it wasn't a case of, throw the game plan out the window and do something drastically different. They were still leading. So had they won by 2 points instead, then the conversation might have been different, and we might be saying, yeah, it was a good thing they didn't double team or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're definitely right. And also, another thing is, it might be difficult to double team him in the spots he got the ball too. You saw just now he had a post up, only one of 3 times he posted up. From that situation, maybe a little easier to double team him. But if he's getting the ball, 3 or 4 feet outside the 3-point line, it's kind of going to be hard to double team him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. The other thing, I don't know if you guys talked about this, Man at Arms didn't really have an inside presence, so you guys could slash to the basket a lot as well.
We were aware they lacked rim protector, and so the game plan was to tell guys like Irfan and Kai Xiang, to try and get dribble penetration as well. We also tried to post up our other player, Gan Jin Pang. But he's one of our go-to post-up guys. Although he's not very tall or very big size, but he's usually very effective in the low post, especially when a smaller guards him. We tried that earlier in the game, and we didn't get anything good from there. And so we said, okay, let's forget it. And then Irfan started heating up, and so we went with that in that direction instead.
It's nice fallback, huh? Irfan here at the free throw line once again. And again, Kunway here in the fourth quarter. He's the one that keeps them in the game. I think a little bit like we're talking about with Irfan. You can strategize, but when the guy's on fire or he wants to score, basketball is that interesting sport where one guy can have so much impact on the game. And even though Irfan hits another three there, Kunway, I think we got to give him props, especially in this fourth quarter. He keeps him in the game.
Yeah. At the start of the fourth quarter, I was also giving Kai Xiang a rest, and I was staying with Kunwei. I want to say reasonably well, until he lost me there and hit a three, and I said, okay, I've done all I can. Sub myself out and brought Kai Xiang back for the rest of the quarter.
It's okay, Isaac. We'll break it down. Let's look at his plus minus with Coach on the floor versus Kai Xiang. We'll see who really did a better job. Isaac, any thoughts here in the fourth quarter?
No, I think how to say? I just think that XUM did really well by like what coach said, not giving up on a what do you call it, on a loss, on a losing end. And I think they managed to take the right advantages that Man at Arms were throwing out. Those loopholes that Man at Arms have during the second half actually is where they really come back, right, XUM? And they really made the right decision, XUM, to take advantage of those things. And I think when Irfan was at the bench at the start of the fourth quarter, I think there was a really good decision by Coach Core as well to rest him, because he's been playing for like 2 to 3 quarters already. And I think it was the right time to rest him, because the start of the fourth quarter, everything was resetted, refreshed, meaning to say they will have that energy to defend Irfan and just like a potential double team to Irfan, because they just came off after a quick rest and stuff like that, and Irfan came up after like 2-3 minutes where they started to get fatigued again, and that's where Irfan came back, right? So I think it's a really good timing, and from then onwards it's just the Irfan show, man.
It is the Irfan show. I think he hits one more three here. Coach, we can see your video now. Dre, let's see if we can get Coach on the live video, because I want everyone to see this. Is that a bench rack in the background there? Are you benching during MCO?
You can see that? yeah, it's a bench rack.
That's awesome. So, kids, this is what you have to do. Commit. Come on, get a rack at home. Come on, Isaac.
Yeah, enroll at UM, do a degree.
Yeah.
See, 71, 74. I want to forward. I think this might be where you guys get Jensen hits a big shot. This might be it. No, he gets.
Jensen is another XCM underrated player as well. Because when U4 was going up against XUM, Jensen did really, really well. I expect like Jensen to be much slower because of the age gap between XCM players and U4, right? But when I was on the court,
he played for Old Buds too, didn't he? That kind of says what kind of player you are. if you're an old bud.
Yeah, but when I'm on the court, and I believe at one point I was guarding him. Actually, it was actually really tough because he's bigger size than me, obviously, and he's got the better strength and stuff like that. But in terms of like speed, right? I wouldn't dare say that I'm faster than him at all. Actually, I'm probably having a hard time.
Evenly fast, right?
Yeah. Jensen is actually a really good vet to have. He can shoot, he can score. He's quite the leader on the court as well.
Kaisang with the steal and I think that's their first lead of the game. Coach, do you remember that?
Yeah,
does
it
the
was a
first
big
and
it
then
was a big play by Kai Xiang, blowing up the dribble handoff and getting the steal.
yeah, and I think that was just with 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes left to play as well, and it ends
Yeah.
up in timeout.
This is a swing. It's a run by XUM. All they need to do
You can
So
see me
I'm
on the sideline. I'm already in my warm up, so I'm in my full coaching mode, no longer playing.
driving down the lane and just gotten any shot they wanted.
Yeah, actually, that's a good.
Yeah.
This is something we talked about last episode, and you have a lot of experience with it in this coach, and I guess with others as well. The role of player coach, captain, all in one. Something's got to give while you're doing that, right? So, talk a little bit about that experience and also how you manage it, and I guess what are your priorities when you're doing that? As we watch the
Yeah,
last.
it's definitely tough to be a player coach because you got to worry about what you're doing on the court, and you got to worry about substitutions and minutes and who's been playing too long or not enough and things like that. And it took quite a few years for me before I could get a hang of it of being both a player and a coach at the same time. But I've been at this for quite a few years, and so I've got a pretty good feel for it now. And it definitely helps that all the players I know well, so I do know who to use at which part of the game and so on. But yeah, it's definitely not an easy thing to do, and I still do make mistakes here and there. Sometimes I leave a player off the floor for too long and things like that.
Irfan with the last three of the game for him there. Yeah, do you play in any leagues where you don't coach, where you're just a player and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna do all the things that all my players annoy me? Like there's got to be a league you play in where you just let off steam, right?
Yeah, definitely the games that UMs play. I'm not playing. I'm just 100% coach.
Well, what I mean is, are there any where you're
As a
just
player?
a player? Yeah, just a player.
Oh yeah. I've started playing in veteran competitions. So when I play in a veteran competition, I'm the young guy.
Nice,
And
nice.
So I'll just keep quiet and I'll just play. They put me on the floor, I play. They put me on the bench, I'll sit and cheer. So I don't really coach much in the veteran circuit.
All right. Okay, we're gonna put up the last question here. The last question we have is: I'm gonna put this out to both you guys. So it's pretty much the end of the game here. Irfan's hit his last three again. We have 8 on film, but we have him down for 9 3-pointers on the game. 9 for 11. I think there's maybe a minute of footage that's missing, but 9 for 11, 12 for 14 from free throw. I think he was 19 for 29 overall field goal percentage wise. So I'm going to ask you first, Isaac, and then you, Coach Core. Do you think this is the best shooting display that we've seen in SSL history? Because we've had other games where guys score 60 points, 50 points, but is this the best shooting display that you guys have seen in SSL? Isaac?
I think there are probably 1 or 2 more that's on par with this kind of shooting match. I mean, in terms of like numbers, 9 is definitely a lot in a game for one player, and it's not like how to say. There are times where games where this specific player they score like 5 in a row, 6 in a row, and stuff like that. And to me that's counted as a good shooting performance as well. Like I said, numbers, this may be the best one, but shooting performance. Do you remember when Murat from Red Baron had all like 7 in a row as well? He was just shooting lights off.
Right.
So there are certain performance that are similar to right
so
now.
I would say that's more of a shooting streak. He had like 5 in a row and then 7 overall. But I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. But in this Man at Arms versus XUM, statistics 9, it's really good. It's really a lot, man. Yeah.
Coach, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen as many StatSports game as you guys have, so I'd have to defer to Isaac in terms of his view as to which was the best ever shooting game. But what I was really impressed with Irfan's shooting in this game is that if you watch the game, you don't get the feel like he's being a ball hog.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel like he's catching every pass and just jacking up shots. He's still playing within the flow of our offense, and he's not marginalizing any of the other players. He's not ignoring the rest of the team. He's playing within the flow of the offense, and within the flow of the offense, he gets 9 3-pointers and 59 points, and that's what's impressive to me. That's what's amazing to me.
Yeah, I completely agree. And again, we talked about the 11 rebounds, the 3 assists. The shooting's unbelievable, but like you said, just in the flow of everything. That is it, I think, for the game. I think they're done, right?
They are.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, Coach. This was really fun. I hope you had fun, and everyone on Facebook, I hope this was fun for you guys. This was our episode 2 of Rewatchables. Coach, any other games that you want us to, that you think we should do that you can remember off the top of your head? We're trying to rewatch old SSL games here to entertain ourselves.
Well, off the top of my head, the couple of games that's always my favorite is I think I mentioned that game against Merit Farm.
Mm-hmm.
XGM against Merit Farm, and as well as I remember there was one game we played against Advanced Pro with Chin Teck Wei on their team. Those 2 games are always memorable because we had to stop a player that was of such a high caliber and was doing that demanded the whole game, both in Eddie Tong and in Chin Teck Wei. And so those fond memories of us really digging in on defense and trying to stop such a
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll note it down. We'll look at that, and maybe we'll have you back on. Thanks for joining us, Coach, and thanks everyone for joining.
Sure.
This
Thanks.
is episode 2 of Rewatchables. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ray.
Good job.